Why do we experience the world the way we do? Why do we feel pain, joy, or love instead of just reacting to stimuli like a machine? Consciousness, the feeling of being aware, is one of the deepest mysteries in science and philosophy. While neuroscience explains which parts of the brain are active during thought and perception, it does not explain why we have a first-person experience of the world. This is known as the hard problem of consciousness, a term coined by philosopher David Chalmers. One of the most ambitious attempts to tackle this problem is integrated information theory, IIT, proposed by neuroscientist Giulio Tononi. IIT suggests that consciousness arises from the integration of information in a system, and it even provides a mathematical way to measure how conscious something is. This is not just a theory, it is an attempt to mathematically quantify consciousness, which could have huge implications for artificial intelligence, neuroscience, and even the nature of reality itself. Let's dive deep into one of the boldest theories of consciousness ever proposed. At its core, IIT states that consciousness is fundamentally about information integration. The more a system can store, process, and integrate information, the more conscious it is. Key principles of IIT. IIT is built upon 5 foundational principles, which describe the properties any conscious system must have. 1. Intrinsic existence. Consciousness exists for itself, not just as an external observation. Your experience is real to you, even if it can't be measured externally. 2. Composition. Consciousness is made up of smaller building blocks, like thoughts, perceptions, and emotions, which combine into a unified experience. 3. Information. Each conscious experience is unique and contains specific information, e.g., seeing a red apple is different from seeing a green apple. 4. Integration. Consciousness arises when information is combined and unified, rather than being separate or fragmented. 5. Exclusion. There is only one conscious experience at a time. You don't experience all possible thoughts at once, only a single, integrated one. This means that consciousness isn't just about complexity, it's about how well a system integrates information into a unified whole. One of IIT's most exciting aspects is that it proposes a way to measure consciousness using a value called phi. Phi measures the amount of integrated information in a system. The higher the phi, the more conscious a system is. A system with 0 phi has no consciousness at all. The human brain has a high phi value because different regions of the brain are deeply interconnected. A computer, even a super powerful one, has low phi because its parts process information separately, without deep integration. Even some animals may have consciousness, depending on their brain's ability to integrate information. This means consciousness is not an on-off switch, but exists on a spectrum. Some things are more conscious than others. IIT is unique because it does not assume that neurons alone create consciousness. Instead, it says, any system that integrates information sufficiently can be conscious. The brain is one such system, but it is not the only possible one. This means that artificial intelligence, AI, could one day achieve real consciousness, if it has high enough phi. Other living organisms, such as animals and even plants, might have some level of consciousness. If a system's parts are too isolated from each other, it cannot be conscious, even if it's very complex. This changes everything. 1. Can AI become conscious? If IIT is correct, then simply making an eye smarter will not make it conscious. Consciousness requires high phi, meaning the AI must integrate information the way a brain does. A super powerful AI could still be unconscious if it doesn't meet IIT's requirements. This suggests that today's AI, like ChatGPT, is not truly conscious, but future AI might be, if scientists can design it with high phi. 2. Are animals and other organisms conscious? If consciousness depends on integrated information, then some animals might be partially conscious. Octopuses, dolphins, and elephants might have high phi, making them closer to human consciousness. Even simpler life forms, like insects or plants, could have tiny amounts of consciousness. This challenges the traditional view that only humans are conscious. 3. What happens when you sleep or get anesthetized? IIT explains why anesthesia turns off consciousness. It disrupts information integration in the brain. During deep sleep, phi drops because brain activity becomes less integrated. This suggests that losing consciousness is not about stopping brain activity, but about breaking information integration. 4. Is the universe conscious? Some researchers speculate that the universe itself could have some level of consciousness under IIT. If integrated information creates consciousness, then large, interconnected systems, like the universe, might have some level of awareness. This idea is similar to panpsychism, which suggests that everything in the universe has some form of consciousness. If true, consciousness could be a fundamental part of reality itself. While IT is an exciting theory, it has some challenges. 1. It's difficult to measure, phi, in real-world brains. Scientists are still working on practical ways to calculate it. 2. It suggests everything with some integration has consciousness, which leads to strange conclusions, e.g., is the internet slightly conscious? 3. It does not fully explain subjective experience, qualia. Even if we calculate phi, it doesn't tell us why red feels red. Despite these challenges, IT remains one of the most mathematically advanced and scientifically grounded theories of consciousness. Integrated information theory is one of the most ambitious and promising scientific attempts to explain consciousness. It provides a mathematical way to measure consciousness. It suggests that even non-human systems, AI, animals, the universe, might be conscious. It challenges traditional views by making consciousness a fundamental property of integrated systems. If IT is correct, consciousness is not just a mystery, it is a measurable, quantifiable property of the universe. Could this mean that one day, we will build a conscious machine, measure our own levels of awareness, or even understand the consciousness of the cosmos? The future of consciousness research is just beginning. What do you think? Could IT be the answer to the mystery of our minds?